Right, this is the daily chart of the QQQ. The QQQ is going to be an example of why I think the market's in a chop zone and we favor lower prices. Even though we haven't really got any follow through, we can't say that the market's going to collapse, but it favors that. And all I can do is show why it favors it, right? Until it does, it can do it any time. I'm going to show a couple examples here. So you got the QQQ, and I want to look at a time frame. And this time frame illustrates it uniquely, anyways. Since October's, as we close above this line from the 14th of October, we've never really closed below. It'll rise up, pull back, rise up, pull back, rise up, pull back, and bounce. Particularly this particular line that you see. But lately, we've been getting closes below that, and these are 4-hour bars, by the way. Today we attempted with a gap up, right? In the spiders, you could see there was less volume to the upside than there was to the Qs than to the downside. Let's look at the spiders now on the 4-hour chart. You can see the similarity here, where since October we have been since we've been well above this line easily, not even attempting to come close to it. And since we've come below it now, and this has really gone up slowly too. This is a different calculation, but what I'm saying in the illustration is that once the spiders crack below 177.26 on volume, most likely this is going to be heading lower. Now, in the meantime, doesn't mean we're just heading lower. We could chop around. That's why I talk about a chop zone. At the same time, there are a lot of breakout stocks neither not breaking out very far or pulling back and giving up their gains. And a great example is Visa. You can see that. First of all, the volume was a lot lighter than the days it was breaking up, and it gives back its gains pretty quickly. But even though this wasn't the best breakout point, the point was theoretically this was a breakout to new highs today, but the volume was low and it gave back all its gains. Even though the market was up strongly, the market gave a lot of its gains back, especially the QQQ, right? Gave back its gains. Again, unless we really get a strong close above below 84 on volume, 84.66, this seems to be chopping around the Qs, and so the indexes are chopping around. But one thing is apparent: there's been stronger selling lately, and a lot less buying pressure this past few weeks. So this is the beginning of what needs, more likely that the market needs a pullback because it's gone up a lot. It needs a rest. But the market's going to do what it wants to do. But an example here, you got Visa giving back its gains like I talked about. And Baidu's another one, another great example. Baidu broke out on pretty good volume and only to give its gains back. So so there's a lot of stocks that are breaking out. Oh no, theoretically this broke out properly. It's not a good sign something is able to give its gains back. So a lot of stocks are sitting around just trying to break out higher. Those are just an example, or that I look at, and neither they can't break out or they don't go very far, and that's been apparent in a lot of stocks. Very few are doing well, but things that like Win are doing well. There was a good breakout, but in a really good environment, I think this would have even gone farther faster. But it's still working. There are stocks that are working, but a lot are not, or they're trying to go higher, and there's not enough volume, and volume is very important. So a lot of breakout stocks can't break out higher with volume. So back to the QQQ. The technology sector, this index has been something good to watch because even though the other things like the Dow or the diamonds, the spiders have given sell signals, the market's reversed. But on my 4-hour chart, not apparent on the daily, there is something different happening here. There is a weakness showing up. that hasn't happened in a while that I'm looking at. And again, not just by looking at the indexes, but by how many stocks can try to break out properly with volume versus ones that, or that, that's changed as well, where there isn't real power to the upside on a lot of setups. It's hard to find, and when that's actually another sign the market needs a pullback, because when the market pulls back, it creates a lot of better setups. There are setups out there, but they're a lot less than before, than a few weeks ago, that are actually working. So there you have the update. Thanks for listening. Like the video.